Hi there, welcome to our channel. This is part 2 or year 2 summary of our new lives here in Portugal. It's fair to say some mistakes have been made along the way, and we've certainly learnt some lessons this year.
Yeah, this year's been an incredibly tough year for us. It's been awful rain. We didn't really get a spring, and then we kind of went into a very, very hot summer.
Yeah, brutal summer and then no autumn and straight into winter with more rain, it seems.
And it's made progress slow, and we didn't quite achieve everything we would have liked. But you'll get to see that in the next 30 minutes. I hope you enjoy. As we now head into year 2, we need to revisit one of our earlier projects. We made the mistake of not ordering enough well rings. So a JCB is needed, and we get 3 more rings ordered and we get them installed. Next, we needed trenches dug. We needed a trench dug from the water mine down to our agricultural well so all the overflow water could go into that. And we also needed a trench dug up to the land, right to the top, so we could have irrigation throughout the terraces. We also had a nice big pond dug. We thought it'd be great for the wildlife and it'd be interesting to see if it would hold the water. This was done right at the bottom of the land on our very bottom terrace. Next on the list, brambles. We had a lot of brambles down at the bottom of the farm. And we could also hear that there was a stream running down one side, but we had never actually seen it because we just couldn't get to it. Now that all the brambles have been cleared, we set about clearing all the trees. So many were overgrown, but in the process they got 2 chainsaws stuck. What can I say? Luckily Joe was on hand, got his weight behind it, pulled the branch down and they were released. But it was a big job, but gave us plenty of firewood. This was a lot of hard work clearing this. And it certainly helped having Hannah and Chico to come and help us. And we also found 3 walnut trees, so that was a nice surprise. And it was great to see it cleared because now we could see where the water would be running in the winter. This also gave us a nice lot of wood for the fire. We probably gained a couple of 100 square metres of land because it was just completely covered in brambles. And on one of the days when it eventually stopped raining, we went to visit the Radium Hotel in Sortella. It's a beautiful place to go and see, long been abandoned. The reason for it closing was they obviously realised radium water wasn't good for the health. But I'm sure in its time it was a magnificent building. If you want to take a look, go back to episode 25. And Justin's tractor broke down, but luckily it was a quick fix. But he certainly wasn't happy having to be towed off the land. We now head into olive harvest season. We didn't actually have many olives this year because previously in the year they had had a major prune, which meant there wasn't a great deal of olives on the tree. So that year we only managed to get 15 litres, but it's better than nothing. Next, it was the mammoth task of starting on the farmhouse. All the roof tiles needed to come off. There was a lot of rotten beams in there that we needed to get down. So we tried to save as many tiles as we could and as much as the wood we could for future projects. Like all the projects that we do on the farm, everything takes far longer than we expected. Taking all the roof off took us a lot longer than we thought it would. It was a major job and it was a lot of hard work. We were fortunate enough to have help from friends along the way. That certainly made it easier. Disappointingly, we couldn't matriculate our vehicle and we had to go and buy a new truck. This was a bit of a blow to our budget, but we needed a car. And it needed to be something suitable for the farm. Our beautiful Estrella puppies arriving at the farm. They were absolutely adorable, but oh my, were we in for a shock how life was going to change. There is nothing I can really say to this, so I will just let you watch. Reality of being on a farm on your own, well, as a couple, and everyone is quite far away, so about safety. So Justin has just knocked himself out. It's not funny, it could have been really serious. I put him in the recovery position, he knocked himself out, banging the poles in. I'm so sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. So
much blood.
if you're squeamish, don't look.
Don't look. He's got, you can't even see it, there's a hell of a knock on his head. I'm going to clean it all up, but we might be having a trip to the hospital, so... And
I've ruined your tea towel.
And he could have concussion. So on a serious note, we do need to be mindful that he could have concussion, and we might have to go to the hospital. So yeah,
So we're both laughing at it, but we shouldn't do because it's not really.
You wanted the poles moved. They were fine where they were.
So you're blaming me?
So, I've got to blame somebody for my own stupidity.
And would you believe it? He done it again. Later on in the year, luckily he didn't knock himself out this time, but he certainly gave himself another big bump on the head. So I think the post banger is going to be out of action until we at least get him a crash helmet. As we now head into 2025, it was an incredibly wet year. We had so much rain, and that certainly stopped a lot of our projects. The pond was filling up, but it just felt like months and months and months of wet weather, and we just really couldn't achieve anything. And with the rain came storms. Our polytunnel did not survive. We tried all sorts of different things, but the polytunnel really was no more. And we finally got to see the stream running, something we hadn't seen before, only heard. We had a beautiful ginger cat arrive at the farm. He was incredibly friendly and very, very hungry. But first we needed to check if he had a microchip or if anybody was missing him in the village. Lucky for us, no microchip, and nobody knew whose cat it was. So we've named him Roscoe, and he's been with us ever since. And he is an absolute little love bug. He loves all the cuddles and all the attention. And to carry on with the animal theme, Zamira, the dog you can see in the background, had puppies, but she had them in an awful place, and we were having really cold weather at the time. So we made a decision to go and rescue her and her puppies and bring her to the farm so she could nurse them in the warmth and not have to worry about anything. Bless her, Zimrira's not the best mother, and after about 3 weeks she really didn't want to be feeding them anymore, and we had to step in. So it was definitely a lot of hard work looking after these puppies and also our 2 puppies. As the weather was nice, we couldn't keep them in the house all the time, so we needed to build them a little enclosure so they could experience the grass and be outside in the fresh air. Because those little tearaways, they used to run in every direction possible. Next to arrive is Luna. She was abandoned by her mother, and she's probably about 4 weeks old when she come to join us. She's turned into a beautiful cat, but we did later find out that he's a boy. So really, we should call him Luno. When the rains eventually stopped, we started to get on in the garden and start prepping and planting. We had a fantastic crop of potatoes. They done really, really well. But I have to say, with no spring and then going into a really hot summer, the rest of the garden was just a complete disaster. And later on in the year, we just completely ploughed it all in because nothing was really growing. And I think it just showed us that the ground really needed some goodness back in. So that's something we'll be concentrating on next year. The puppies are growing fast, and let's just say Duke is a little bit accident prone. So these are giving us the run around and at this point escaping the farm quite a lot. And Duke decided to have a run in with a wild boar that has punctured his leg. The next big crucial task that needed to be covered on the farm is we needed to get a secure fence built. Up to this point we'd only had a metre fence and the puppies were getting big and we were struggling to keep them on the farm. They were forever escaping. So we had to go and buy all the materials and get this fence erected. It's 1.5 metres and it took us quite a while to do. We were struggling with some of the holes, we were hitting granite, and so further tools needs to be bought to make this job easier for us. For the gate posts, we even managed to repurpose some of the beams that we took down from the house.
Daisy is this side of the fence now, having just come back. And Duke is that side of the fence and refusing to come in. And I'll show you how they got out.
So while I was in the UK visiting family, the dogs were certainly giving Justin the runaround. We had installed this fence, and on one side they had completely destroyed it, and they had completely broken the concrete posts at the bottom. So more mistakes, we didn't put the posts in and we didn't put supports in with it. So lessons learned, and it was going to be something we were going to have to revisit later.
Don't let it go
We actually get to see quite a few snakes on the farm, and we just happen to have the camera today. We don't mind. They're just doing their thing. But it was heading towards the caravan and it needed to be moved.
Come here, mate.
And we also needed to protect it from the cats, because if they got to see it, they'd think it's a new toy.
Over there, mate.
Next, we have a little mini digger come because we need to take down the rest of this house. But this is a beautiful navel orange tree that produces the most amazing oranges. So we do our best to try and rehome it, and let's hope it survives. Next, the house comes down. They're made of Dijolo block and they are all crumbling, so the structure isn't safe and it's not something we can work with. This was exciting for this to happen because it really meant we could get on with the things we needed to do and get this house built. What we didn't realise at the time is how much rubble we were going to have. Oh boy, it was a lot of rubble. And we also got the footings dug ready for our new foundations. So much rubble. We're really not sure what we're going to do with this at this moment in time. Our vegetable garden didn't do very well, but our sunflowers were looking amazing and the grapes were coming along nicely. Roscoe was being a very loving big brother to Luna, or we should say Luno. Now that our fence is all built, next on the list we need to make some gates. At the moment we're just using a bit of makeshift wire gating and it's really not holding, so some proper gates need to be made. We were quite proud of these. It's something we've never done before, so I think it was a good job all in all. And I think they look quite smart. And in August, the fires come, and there was a major fire down the south of the Estrella. It was actually the biggest fire on record in Portugal so far, but we also had one near us at Sortella, and here you can see the ash from the fire at night. This one was about 1 kilometre away from us. But we still needed to be vigilant and we still needed to keep an eye on it because overnight the winds can change and the fire can come nearer to us. Here you can see all the smoke in the valley. It was like this for several days. It was awful to see. It was really eerie and really weird. We took a trip down to one of the large lakes where we could see the fire planes coming in to collect the water. Fascinating to see. The next thing for us is we need storage. Now that the roof is coming off and the house is being demolished, we need somewhere to put all our tools and all our stuff. So doing our research, we looked at metal sheds, wooden sheds, and a shipping container was the right thing for us. So our research was done, and you do have to be careful because there are scammers out there, and our container was ordered and delivered. The only thing that did seem to grow really well was the grapes. We didn't actually get to prune all the grapevines like we should have done. We probably done about 3/4 of them, and we definitely learnt a lot, so we know what to do for the up and coming year. But we think we had a nice lot of grapes. All these lovely grapes were given to somebody in the village, and they were kind enough to give us some bottles of wine and jerrapiga in return. And last but not least, we made a mistake and we needed another digger. We needed to dig all the earth away from the back of the house, because previously when we had this done, we did not take enough earth away, and we needed a slope put in so it would keep the back of the house dry, ready for us to put a French drain in. And also, when we had the previous digger, we left the back wall in, and it really wasn't the right thing to do. We thought we would leave it there and build in front of it because there was earth up against it. But doing our research and getting advice, it was advised, no, you need to take it down and you need to move the earth away. So this time we made good use of the digger, and we also dug a trench down the side of the property. So this is now all ready for us to put a French drain in. This was an incredible amount of earth that needed to be moved away, but this will also prevent future damp coming into the house. And now Daisy and Duke have a nice extra large drinking bowl. So that wraps up year 2. We've certainly got a busy year ahead of us because we've got a house to build. So if you're interested, come along for the journey. And if you can, subscribe, give us a like and give us a hype. And also leave us a comment. We love to hear from you. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.